The relations of ego resilience and emotion socialization to the development of empathy and prosocial behavior across early childhood. Empathy is an effective response that results from comprehension or apprehension of another's emotional state or condition. Thus, it involves both a rudimentary or higher understanding of another's emotion and vicariously sharing of it. Empathy emerges in basic form in early life. Newborns reactive crying to another's distress, and becomes more sophisticated in toddlerhood, a period in which children increasingly become aware of others' feelings and differentiate perspectives. The development of empathy has been linked to children's growing social and cognitive skills such as emotion understanding, perspective taking, and self-awareness that provide them with an awareness of other people's feelings and needs. Researchers have focused mostly on cognitive skills and antecedents to empathy abilities in early childhood, whereas there is a relative little work on dispositional characteristics of toddlers and young preschoolers that predict empathy responding, in particular, how well children manage and recoup from stress, their ego resiliency, could affect their responses to others' emotional distress. However, relationship between a trait of ego resilience and children's dispositional empathy remain understudied, especially during early childhood. Also important, much of the work of parental socialization of empathy has pertained to parental disciplinary practices, whereas parental socialization of emotion has received limited attention. Moreover, there are relatively few longitudinal studies of empathy, so it is difficult to draw conclusions about the role of early socialization or dispositional characteristics in development of empathy. Empathy, it is of interesting of developmentalists because it sometimes appears to foster prosocial actions as well as concern for the well-being of others. Sympathy, Exburn et al. 2006 in Press. Although empathy overall can result in an adversive self-focused reaction labeled personal distress, there is a natural conception link between empathy and prosocial behavior intended to benefit another, because the process of empathizing with others is expected to increase the likelihood of understanding another person's feeling and respond in a sensitive manner. However, researchers have seldom examined the growth of empathy in relation to children's later prosocial behavior. Furthermore, few researchers have examined meditation mediation in regard to children's empathy, and those who do typically assess mediators of empathy, no empathy as a mediator. The present study explored early personality and environmental predictors of the development of young children's empathy, as well as relation of empathy to prosocial behavior with peers at a later age. How children manage their own emotions and behaviors when under stress. Their ego resiliency will be expected to affect their responses to other emotions. Also, socialization experience, such as the quality of parenting behaviors, have been associated with individual differences in empathy-related responding. We examined whether mothers' emotion socialization practices and children's ego resiliences at 18 months predicted initial levels and change in empathy across 5 time points: 24, 30, 42, 48, and 54 months, and whether empathy in turn predicted prosocial behavior with peers at 72, 84 months of age. Ego resiliences and mothers' expressive encouragement both uniquely predicted the intercept of empathy. Boys' empathy was lower than girls, but improved more with age. Initial levels of growth of empathy possibly predicted later prosocial behavior. Children's ego resilience predicted the slope of empathy at near significances. We also found that the intercept of empathy mediated the relation between ego resilience and prosocial behavior, as well as the relation between mothers' expressive encouragement and prosocial behavior. These findings suggest that both parenting and personality characteristics are relevant to the development of empathy during early childhood and might contribute to children's later prosocial behavior with peers.